Good morning, everyone. We would like to welcome you to our wonderful podcast called
Lovely Yours.
Featuring myself, Amarachi, and my very amazing colleague,
Mbasi.
Just to say, Lovely Yours, we're going to be tackling a lot of things on how and why your life is affected by law. And forget that we are Nigerians, we need to make an effort to be enlightened, to open our eyes. Like my mom will always say, use your tongue to count your teeth. So there's a lot of misinformation going around. Like, where do I start from? Okay, I've heard about like people saying things like, okay, if you want to get divorced, you send papers and they sign. Like how? No, please.
It's just time. Like it's a normal thing.
Let's start with that. Okay, as a very brief fun fact. We don't sign, we take a process, we petition, and the judge gives a court order. It's literally that simple. Okay, so you can rummage on that fact while we bring you on the main topic of why we are here, being
how legal is your eviction?
How legal is your eviction? Please, we need to ask that question. The stories I've been hearing are becoming very scary and tremendous.
It's been crazy.
Do you know that I heard from like one of my friends about how she's being evicted from her place, her apartment, because the landlord wants to turn the apartment complex to a short-let complex.
Why?
3 months before her rent expires. No notice, no due process whatsoever.
That is so wrong on so many levels because you cannot just accept certain things, certain situations, not knowing that there are things you can actually do about it. Are you thinking about the people? It's not even about the money. It's not even about the refund. It's about the people. Like, why are you so inconsiderate of other people?
Literally, inconsiderate is the word. I think we forget that sometimes landlords, they are subject to law. They are not overpowerful or sane being. No, just because they lack conscience, they treat you in a certain way does not mean that they are indivisible. Subject them to that law.
I feel like the landlord is not even thinking about the tenant or, the people. He's just focusing on, even if there's a refund, he's just focusing on the money. Okay, like, let me help you guys in this way. So it is a common issue that we are trying to inform you about so that you do not fall into the wrong situation.
God bless you. Yeah. It's not even enough for them to say, oh, your rent expired. The process you're following is illegal. I keep in mind, rent expiration is just one of the reasons to be evicted. It is not a literal, valid to just kick you out of your place of it. No. Is there not a process? Like, isn't there a process? Have you not considered that? No one has the right to just come and say, oh, you're out of here. Okay,
let's just go.
Exactly, you just leave. Let's put, for example, now when a man is married, do you understand? And let me say he finds out his wife maybe cheating or something. And then suddenly he's not like, okay, I don't want to marry you. And then he now removes his ring and just do. Does that
means the marriage is over just like that? And it doesn't work like that, actually. Maybe movies, sure. Okay. Movies will definitely make it look as easier as they could make it look.
Exactly.
But when it comes to real life situations, there are due processes to certain things. We do not just wake up one morning, drop eviction papers or drop divorce papers and everybody goes
separate. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Separate. And then you will now come and be like, oh, this landlord was a good person. Was he a good person if he did that to you? Please, back to the process we mentioned. There are 2 things that landlord has to file for, which you have to keep in mind. And we're going to just table them very briefly. The first one is your notice to quit. It is the first and the foremost. It comes before anything. If they don't follow that, if they even start any process and it does not start with your notice to quit, it is off.
That notice to quit has to be 7 days notice of intention to process property.
Exactly. And then after that comes your 7 days intention to repossess property. If they refuse to do it, or you come one day, they brought your things out, it is what? Illegal. It is illegal. I want Nigerians to understand this. Let's not allow landlords to keep bullying us, please. We know better. Let me even tell you a funny story about where I was working before, and one of my colleagues informed me about how, he had an issue with his landlord and they nearly evicted him. And then he took the landlord to court and he stayed a year rent-free there while it was ongoing in court.
In Nigeria. Do you guys see? It's not really as complicated as
it honestly
Nigerians make it look.
Yes,
really not.
It's not. And like, I know you'll be considering, okay, let's honestly consider the economic,
Yeah.
situation, finances, funds, getting a lawyer. But then I'm sure one of you have one of those your lawyer friends, somebody you can just go and meet and say, please, and the law barrister, I don't know what even is to call you in law school now. It's the law. The law. Barrister, please, my landlord is moving so just draft something. Do you understand?
Like that, just something as little as that will go a very long way for you, because you never know where you find yourself and you always have to be prepared. So that's why we're here, to actually let you know about little things like this, so that we all do not make certain mistakes. So if you have a lawyer friend, I mean, we have a lot of lawyers in Nigeria. So literally anyone could just draft a single,
maybe a letter, demand letter in notice, letting your lawyer know, your landlord know that you're right.
Some of Nigerians, rather, they have this habit of wanting to follow the Western culture, wanting to do what they do just because they feel like it just fit us. And do you know what? It doesn't. Nigeria. So literally anyone could just draft a single,
maybe a letter, demand letter in notice, letting your lawyer know, your landlord know that you're right. You're right. But please, when that your lawyer friend has done that, and don't do free work, don't do issue free for him. Like, use conscience and put something in his pocket. Are we not all surviving Nigeria?
We are. So let's just know that the main point is, number one, your notice to quit.
Exactly.
And secondly, it must be given 7 days due process.
Yes, 7 days due process comes immediately after, and if they don't do this, then your eviction is not what legal. Yes.
So that is all.
Exactly. And lawfully yours. And thank you so much for having us today.
See you on the next one.